Hi, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast, the sea to shining sea. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, show all about radio.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name.
Sung by One Republic, it's called I Lived.
Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay.
As I said when I was going to play it, you'll hear the whole song.
Hope that you fall in love, and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
This great song comes from 2013. Listen to these words.
But they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
If you're wondering the name of the artist, the name of the song, it's a beautiful song. It's done by One Republic. The name of the song is called I Lived. This is such a powerful song with a great message. I promised if I played it, I'd play the whole thing.
I swear I lived. Every broken bone, I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
In this show, we're going to talk about the Kenwood TS-870S. It's a good one. Plus some ham projects, indoor antennas, and your comments worldwide. That's a song won by One Republic called I Lived. Great song. From the four winds of the world, wherever you may be. I'm a bit hot here. Hold on a second. Away we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Shack in Oregon. My name's Larry. My call sign, Ham Radio's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome to a Wednesday. Sorry it took so long to get here. I needed one more thing in my schedule. It was awful. Yeah, so anyway, thank you for coming today. It's good to see you guys. Yesterday was a tough day, and glad it's over. Put it that way. Want to welcome you from around the world, and we'll tell you why we're here, and hopefully you guys will all have a good show today. I hope you'll enjoy it. Want to welcome Ron. He's the first one. It's the first time he's done this to come in first to the show. Victor Alpha 3, Foxtrot Union Charlie. Ron, you did it. Well done, mate. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Victory DP, he's done it before. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Charlie, good to have you, mate. November Juliet 7, Victor. a good friend and a good man. Thanks for being here, Charlie. Also, John Hummel Newell, Victor Echo 5, Juliet Hotel November. Welcome, Jeff, as well. In Eastern Tennessee, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta. Jim in Walnut Creek, Whiskey 6, Julie, India. Mike, Andy New from the UK, Bristol to be exact. Mike 7, Charlie in November. Rob is here all the way from Tucson, Arizona. November 7, Tango Alpha, welcome. Steve, Mike 7, Indy Whiskey Hotel, it's great to see you. WECB 640, hola to you, welcome. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming. Kevo Doublehand is here from the Emerald Isle of Ireland. Welcome, Kevin. Good evening to you there. Gary Strong from Las Vegas, Nevada. Whiskey 9 Papa Yankee. Thank you for your kindness in coming today. Also, our dear man that has his own ship, Antenna. Yes, we'll talk about that tomorrow. There was so much in this show today, I couldn't get Kevin's bid in, but we'll do it tomorrow. He uses a boat for an antenna. Take a look at it on his YouTube channel, Kilo Zero Kilo Lima Bravo. It's amazing. G-Man, welcome. Kilo Union 8 Papa is here. Welcome. It's good to have you, G-Man. Thanks. Yep, good to have you, mate. Also, am I missing anybody? Think everybody? No, Kel is here. Hi, Kel. Good to see you, mate. Lima Bravo Zero Yankee India. Always a pleasure to have you, as well as my brother Andy in the UK. Andy, welcome. 2 Echo Zero Romeo Echo. There we go. All right. Takes a while. Mine's got to go. Roger, welcome. Kilo Juliet 7 Lima X-Ray. Richard Westman, welcome. He's here from Sweden. Sierra Mike 6 Union Juliet, first timer, and welcome, Richard. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Richard. Thank you for coming. My heritage is from Denmark, so these are people from where I'm from. It's really nice to meet you, Richard. Thanks for coming today. It's my pleasure to meet you. Rob Q, Los Angeles, California is in the house. Hi, Rob. Welcome. Good to have you back, as well as Country Strong and Free. Always good to have you. And Jason here, November 5, Victor Hotel Tango. Man, I'm sorry I took a second there. Jason, he's my favorite minion. He is my brother there. Thank you, brother. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. All right. Let's get into what we're going to talk about today. You know, Charlie had brought up a point the last show. We talked a little bit about the song Waltzing Matilda. Now, this is a really strong Australian song, and it has a big meaning to me. When I started DXing back in 1972, I first DXed medium wave, then found shortwave, and I was hooked. And I fondly loved the old Radio Australia. Yeah, Radio Australia on shortwave. It was so cool to listen to. It really was. They began broadcasting on shortwave in 1939. Then they went off in 2017. The government then changed their mind. They came back on and they went off again in 2020. The old Waltzing Matilda start. But before we go there, let's do this for Chuck and for all of us Yanks over here. Let's let you know exactly what the song really means. It's a great video explaining the words of Waltzing Matilda and what it actually means.
Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolibah tree, and he sang as he watched and waited till his billy mourned, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee. And he sang as he stowed that jumbuck in his tucker bag, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." And he sang as he stowed that jumbuck in his tucker bag, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred. Up rode the troopers, 1, 2, 3. Where's that jolly jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me, waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Where's that jolly jumbuck you got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Up jumped the swagman and sprang into the billabong. "You'll never catch me alive," said he. And his ghost lay
That cool? Okay. Us Yanks, we don't appreciate that song and know what it meant. So hopefully we have a little idea more about it. But Radio Australia on shortwave always started with Waltzing Matilda. I'd like you to hear what it sounds like. And by the way, today for the sign-off, we're actually going to do the sign-off of Radio Australia when they went off of shortwave. They came back, but this was when they went off in 2017. We'll actually be at the transmitter site where they were beaming to the Pacific and towards the United States when they shut off the transmitters. That'll be our sign-off today. But before we do that, let's take a look back in the time machine. It's part of our history in radio. It really is. Same HF bands that we use, shortwave uses too. Let's take a look at how Radio Australia came on the air in 1969. Hear Waltzing Matilda?
Transmitting from the Melbourne studios of the Australian Broadcasting Commission.
And then the clock. They'd always have the bonging of the clock as they would come on then, and they would start their broadcast day. That was how Radio Australia used to go on the air on shortwave, and sadly, that's part of our past now. Radio Australia went off the air finally in 2020, and there's no word about them coming back soon. But I want to honor them because they were so special. I can tell you as a young man growing up, just I was like in my teens, they were the only shortwave broadcast that played pop music. They were so cool. I loved Radio Australia. So when I got my license, my ham license, man, my first goal was to make a call to VK. It was because I grew up loving Australia because of Radio Australia. That's the profound impact it had on me as a young person. So I hope you enjoy the show. We will have that sign off of Radio Australia going off the air, and I hope you enjoy what we have to talk about today. If you'd like to get your amateur radio license, we'd love to help you. All you got to do is contact a big organization to find a small club near you. Pretty simple. Contact someone like the American Radio Relay League. You can find them at www.arrl.org. Hit the contact us part, let them know where you're located, and you'd like to be a licensed amateur operator. They'll then send you an amateur club close to you that'll help you get your license. Pretty simple. www.arrl.org. Want to email me? Find me at CQ, hamradiolive@gmail.com. And our Discord page is pretty doggone cool too. Find us on Discord at ham-radio-live, all right? We're going to be talking about some fun stuff that you don't know about yet, but I wanted to share it with you because it's cool. This is Charlie, November Juliet 7 Victor, and Charlie is part of our group today that's here, and I am so thrilled about this. Charlie is actually, he's going to his very first Hamvention. Yep, coming up this month. He's going. And Charlie is going to be kind enough to send us, he's going to actually send us some photos, so we're going to be able to see what it looks like there at Hamvention. And then on Saturday of Hamvention, which will be, I think, the 22nd, Charlie will go ahead, we'll connect together from Hamvention there in Ohio. And he's going to give us a live report from Hamvention, tell us all about it, and we'll have some fun. Won't that be cool? Thanks to Charlie, November Juliet 7 Victor, for sharing a little bit of Hamvention with all of us. Your good man, Chuck. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate it. We have a show question today. Today is going to be something kind of fun. We haven't done this since last week. It's always supposed to be on Tuesday, right? But Larry just couldn't do it yesterday because it just wasn't a good day to do it. I know you understand why. So it's going to be a Tell Me Something Good Wednesday.
Tell me something good.
Tell me something good that's going on in your radio life or your life right now. We'll share it in the show. The current Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map coming up, but right now, let's get into that weather powered by ICOM. ICOM, for the love of ham radio. Here is your A1A. It's not the coolest A1A in the world, but it's an A1A. Some good stuff in the South Pole. Southern Hemisphere, I should say, of the sun. We have some sunspots coming, so I think our SFI is going to start bouncing up here shortly. No coronal holes facing us right now. Not many sunspots either. That's a problem. 3006, 3007 are facing us right now, but we do have some hope coming from the backside of the sun. Take a look. If you take a close look at this, you can kind of see the brightness coming our way. Last 3 days of solar flare detection, we got an X1.5 flare yesterday. Hit us right about the three-quarter part of the day. It doesn't look like it's going to cause any problem here to Earth, but it is still something to be concerned about. Noise floors are quiet. These are great. K2, it's been quiet for a little bit, so we've got good band conditions, and so far, so good. Next 3 days, looks about the same. K2, which means inactive. It's going to be quiet on the bands. This was earlier today, the QRZ conditions. At that point, 116 SFI and a solar number of 62. The BZ is the point here that's 4.3. Now, unfortunately, the positive 4.3 has went to a negative 3.6. Not good. So it's going to make things a little fade on the band, but look at the SFI, what happened here. Before it was 116 today at 1549, then at 2135 it jumped to 133. So solar number is 62. Your BZ's a negative minus 3.6. Solar wind quiet though, so that's a good thing. 371.1 kilometers per second. And you can see HF conditions all the way to 12. It's possible. I think it's very possible. You can certainly get 10 meters in the southern part of the northern hemisphere again. Earlier, Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map, you can see how 10 meters was working again south. In the northern hemisphere, north, it was more like, you're on 15 meters. The current Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map looks just like this. In Europe, you're still, look at that, on 15 meters, both in Great Britain as well as on the mainland of Europe. If you head towards Germany and France, about 20 megahertz. Right there around Romania, about 18, so things start to dip off right there. So it's took a little time on 15 megahertz. You can work, on 15 meters, still getting some 22 megs out of Europe, so that's good. Here in the States, 23 megahertz in New England, 25 down in Louisiana, so still no 10 meters. See it's missing? Yeah. They head up towards Alaska, about 17 megahertz, and they've got lots of daylight up there now, but just not supporting good conditions. South America, great conditions, 43 megahertz there off of the eastern tip. Eastern tip of South America. As you head down south, that's when things decline into the 16 megahertz land. And look at our friends there in Australia. On the Gold Coast right now, 27 megahertz, getting stronger as the day goes on. 18 megahertz right near Victoria right there. And then in Perth, still dark at 12 megahertz. In the Far East, 21 in Japan, right there on the Korean Peninsula, about 25 megahertz. So decent conditions. Today, your ham and shortwave forecast voice, it's kind of the same thing. I almost can record this and just make it the same. 20, 17, 15, maybe 12, and maybe 10. Depends on where you're at and what time of day it is. Later in the day in the southern part of the northern hemisphere, you probably get some 10 meters. 15 and 17 are your go-to DX bands for much of the northern hemisphere. I was listening on 14240 earlier today, heard Echo Alpha 3 Juliet Echo coming in very distinctly weak, but coming in from Spain. It was a good call. A lot of people are all over that call. Equatorial latitudes, you'll do well. 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. Same for the south. CB radio skip, pretty much closed in the north. It'll go well mid and south latitudes. Data modes, you still can work 12 and 10 later in the day, so don't worry about 10. You can still get it, but it'll be a little bit later in the afternoon for 10-meter data. Nighttime ham band openings, this is good because at least they're quiet. 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30. Best DX is 40 and 20 meters. 20 works really well late into the evening, but make sure and work your MUF at gray line. That's going to get you the longest distance call there. Shortwave bands during the day, 31, 25, 22, and 19. Your shortwave nighttime, 120, not much on that frequency. band basically, but a little bit. 90, 75, 60's got quite a bit. 49's got a lot of content. 41, 31, 25's got a lot of content, as well as 22 and 19 meters. 19, by the way, open after dark in the Northern Hemisphere for about an hour to 2 after sunset. Signals fade away. Today's solar ranking is 6. We've got a negative BZ, and but improving SFI. We'll see how things go as the week goes on. Okay. Also, do want to say thank you. Really, thank you to all you guys for your kind words about Molly. It was a hard day. It was. And thank you for your compassion. It meant a lot. You know, you talk about she's just a cat, right? But she's your baby, too, and it's hard to see that happen. Let me show you real quick. When I was putting the show together earlier, before I had to go pick up our pups, I was listening on 20 as I was putting the show elements in, and I got a chance to hear this. It's a really good example of working a radio, but not seeing a signal. You don't look at waterfalls. Listen carefully, and you'll hear something. Take a look at how low this signal is. It comes from Spain. It's about 8,400 kilometers from me. Check this out. It's not even moving the needle. The needle's not even moving. Keep listening for it. You'll start hearing them come up. And so you don't have to hear about a whole bunch of static and all that. That was Echo Alpha 3 Juliet Echo out of Spain. And, you know, what I really wanted to share with you is that it's common that we want to work high towards the MUF, right? But don't forget 20. Don't, because a lot of people are still on 20 meters. And he was specifically calling for the U.S., especially the West Coast. So, again, Echo Alpha 3 Juliet Echo. It was in there. Real weak, but there. Use your ears. Try and use your ears and train yourself to listen, and you'll find signals. And the waterfalls displays, while being beautiful and cool, they don't work you the signal. Your ears do. All right? So try and keep an eye on that. We had a request, and he's here today. It is Rob Q from Los Angeles. Let me get Rob up real quick. Here he is. Let me bounce back up. There he is. Rob, you asked about an indoor antenna because you live in an apartment. You wondered about an indoor antenna option. Okay. I'm going to show a video that's done by a really good YouTube person, and I'll have the link to his channel in the description below too, okay? He does an indoor antenna build. Now, I want you to understand there's a danger here. This is really important, okay? If you live in a multi-tenement apartment building or multi-condo, whatever, you're in the middle floor. You can't put up an antenna outside. That's the best way to put it. If you use a loop or use this antenna, remember there are EMF dangers to you, your family, and the people around you. Please make sure you know that no one's got a pacemaker and they're close by because you could kill them, okay? This is an example of building an indoor antenna with what you have and not really spending a whole lot of money and really having it work. Again, this is low power, so keep that in mind too. He's not using a ton of power, but still make sure you understand the safety issues with an EMF calculator using any indoor antenna like this.
Hi, I'm Josh, KB6BTU. Today I'm going to show you my indoor stealth HF antenna. It's a random length wire antenna, happens to be about 60 feet, using a 9-to-1 balun, and it's completely inside. I just put it up yesterday and I've already made a contact 2,500 miles away in terrible band conditions. This is June of 2019. We're nearly at the bottom of the solar cycle. Maybe we're starting our way back up, but the conditions are bad. And I made a 2,500 mile contact on this indoor stealth antenna. And I have to do stealth antenna because I rent this house and I'm not really allowed to have antennas outside. And there are going to be other people who have apartments or homeowners associations. They're not allowed to have antennas outside either. So that's why I do it. Anyway, let me show you the antenna. Okay, here's the computer that controls the radio. I have an ICOM 7300. I'm just using the tuner inside the radio. Currently we're on 40 meters. So you're gonna see a lot of wires back here, but just note that this one piece of coax goes up to this 9-to-1 balun, and I know the lighting is bad for this. Just trust me on this, it's a 9-to-1 balun, happens to come from Chameleon. Out of this 9-to-1 balun, which is not grounded, by the way, there's no ground coming off it, there is the 60-foot wire antenna. Goes down to, and this room, by the way, is 20 feet by 15 feet. So the antenna starts out at the balun. It comes down to the end of the room where it's just held in place. Let's see if we can get up nice and close and just take a look. I just put this thing, it needs to come out very easily. It's just a little eyelet thing. I don't know what you call it, but I bought it down at Home Depot for about 30 cents. And I bought 6 of them. I used 4 or 5 of them to string this around the room. So it goes from that corner of the room. Here's the TV, all the internet stuff that comes into the house. There's been no interference. The antenna goes to that corner of the room. Now this room is an addition to this house. This room has wood siding, but the rest of the house has stucco, and so the addition would have had chicken wire on it. So rather than follow this wall along, I decided, and let me see if I can give you a better view on this, as we look back, I decided to go diagonally across the room rather than follow the chicken wire wall. So there are a couple skylights in here. So I'm following the antenna back across the room. Come to this corner where we have another one of those eyelets. And then there's just about a foot left, and then there's some string for tension. And that is it. That's the entire antenna inside the room. Nothing is outside the wall. I know grounding is a good thing, but it's on the 2nd floor. It's really hard to ground here. I know having antennas outside is a good thing, but I can't have an antenna outside because of my landlord issue. So this is what I've been using. And I've already made a 2,500 mile contact, and I've only had this up for about 24 hours. All right, important thing to note, too much RF is not a healthy thing. And so I've been using very low power. You want to consult the ARRL to make sure you don't exceed, the amount of power that you can have near you. Hopefully you have high ceilings so you can somehow get the actual antenna, away from your body as much as possible. Am I taking a risk here? I'm using less than 20 watts of power, and I haven't been doing much transmitting, but it is a consideration, when you have an antenna too close to your body and you're transmitting on it. That aside, it's been working really well. I've been using JS8. JS8 is a new protocol that's specifically designed to work in poor band conditions, and it's been really helpful. Let's see if I can show you how I make a JS8 contact, and then I'll show you on PSK Reporter some of the contacts that I've actually made. All right, I know this is kind of a cheesy way to record my computer screen. which is hooked up to my ICOM 7300 with just a USB cable, which carries both the audio and the cat control. So it's going to both key up the rig, it'll change the frequency, and it carries the audio too. This is the appropriate frequency for JS8 call. So we're going to go over here. I'm going to click this button, and it's going to transmit when it's ready, because it's a time-sensitive thing, so it will transmit when it's ready. It's transmitting now. So it's sending out a beacon, and then we'll see if we get a response. This is kind of an automated HF system, JS8 call. All right, so I can see some stations are responding already. And while I can see that they're responding there, I can't actually tell who they are yet, but their information is going to pop up here. Okay, so 3 stations responded to me. I'm not sure what their locations are. I know one's in Arizona, but other than that, I'm not 100% sure about their locations. So this is 20 watts with the indoor antenna. And let's take a look at JS8, or I'm sorry, PSK Reporter, and I'll show you all the stations I've contacted. The stations on the left, located within the half moon shape, are stations that I've had a two-way back and forth conversation with. The stations you see on the right that show hours or minutes, these are stations that have received me, but I haven't necessarily had it back.
And that's it. That's good video. You know, and it shows you, Rob, that you can do it and how you can put it together. Again, make sure you do an EMF calculation so you know you're far enough away from that transmitting antenna, and other people are too. I'll put a nice calculator from the ARRL in the description section. The RCB has one as well, where you can use it to know if you're safe using an antenna like that. There you go, Rob. Okay? Hope it helped. Okay, we're going to also thank a good mate who's coming up this Saturday at 1900 UTC. Vance Martin will join us November 3, Victor Echo Mike. We're going to talk about Parks on the Air. That's going to be a lot of fun. He's got so many statistics and stuff. I mean, the guy is really, really smart, and you'll really learn a lot about how many people are running parks on the air and what parks they're working and how the growth of this thing is happening. It's just amazing. It'll be at 1900 UTC. That's noon Pacific here in North America, 6 a.m. on the east coast of Australia, and right there in Europe, right there in London. You know, you're going to be there at, 1800? Or no, you're +1. So you're at 20 UTC. But just join us. It'll be fun to meet Vance and talk about radio with him and Parks on the Air. Then on the 11th of June, Tim Duffy, K3LR, joins us, talk about his ham radio life, contesting, and a whole bunch more. Please join us. It should be a fun show with Tim, and make sure you're here for that. Noon Pacific that day on the 11th, 3 p.m. in the East, and again, 1900 UTC. I also want to tell you, we got a new video to show you with people may want to get a new radio, first radio, right, for ham radio, because HF's expensive. If you want VHF or UHF, they tend to be more affordable radios, right? But HF tends to be a little more expensive. The parts are more expensive on those rigs. We'll take a look at a radio we haven't yet covered. It's from Kenwood. I hope you like it. It's coming up in just a moment. Before we do that, we're going to honor somebody to watch the channel right now. This will be a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and honor our good friend Spike from, Montana, because he comes here a lot. So, Spike, here we go. Shepherd, Montana. How about this? He's a professional magician. Did you know that? He also was in the Navy. Here he was. Take a look at one of the submarines. He might have been one of the people that worked on this submarine one time. I love this on his QRZ page. I may be old, but I was in the Navy when it was cool. Pretty good stuff. Here's what a radio room looks like if you're on board a submarine. Spike, thanks for this. It's really kind of cool. And his Navy pin. This is great. Spike, thank you for your service. Thank you for all you've done to help us here in our country by serving, in the U.S. Navy. Plus, finally, his extraterrestrial highway thing here. He actually became a semi-truck driver here in the U.S. Did it a little over 20 years. Spike Nordstrom, thank you for watching Ham Radio Live. We appreciate you, man. We really do. Thank you, Spike. Mean that a lot. Thank you very much, buddy. mean that. All right, we got some angry people upstairs. We got to check with them because, they have been alone for a couple of days. So let's go up there. It's a little dark, but we'll get them in. Just hang on a second. We'll find out how they like the show so far. And I don't think it's going to be a very good review here from them. If anything tells me it won't be. So here's the angry critics for this day.
Well, by the way, I thought your wife was coming tonight.
Well, the old bat couldn't come.
Well, the rest of them sure made it.
The angry hams, of course. It's fun. How many U.S. call sign districts border the Great Lakes? Okay, if you're outside the U.S., you get 10 points for this. Inside North America, you get 5. Currently at 60-40, the world's in the lead. How many U.S. call sign districts border the Great Lakes? Is it A2, B3, C4, or is it D5? How many U.S. call sign districts border the Great Lakes? Whoever gets it right first gets it for their continent. Good luck. By the way, I do want to welcome Hardy Dirks. Welcome. I called the FCC. He was on hold for less than an hour. That's a long time. We'll get to your something goods as well while we're getting ready for this. So, yeah, how many call sign districts border the Great Lakes? Let's see if you guys know here. Andy Cowley, first one in. Echo 0, Romeo Echo Echo. He guesses C, and C is not it. Red Summit, Charlie, he says C4. That is not it either. It may look like 4, but take a closer look. Steve, Mike 7, Indy West Hotel says B. No. Jeff, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta, C. No, that's not it. And by the way, Indy from Australia is here. Hi, Indy. It's good to see you, bud. Always a pleasure to see our buddy Indy. It is.
That's a knife.
Yeah, it's always good. Always good to see you, Indy. Dirk in Wisconsin, Whiskey 9 Romeo Delta Yankee. Guesses D, 5, and he would have it correct. It is 5. Yep. 5 call districts border. And it's a little tricky. I'll show you why. Call district 0. Remember, Minnesota up north borders Lake Superior, right? But also Call District 2, New York borders Lake Erie, right there where Buffalo is. So you have Call District 0, Call District 9, Call District 8, Call District 2, and that's the ones that border it. It's interesting how it all plays out, isn't it? But that's how it works. So they say there's 5, right? I think they may have this wrong. Because look, 0 Minnesota borders Lake Superior. 9, of course, you've got Lake Superior and you've got Lake Michigan, so 0 and 9. 8, certainly Lake Erie. What about Call District 3, right? So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's my 5. I was thinking, wait, I'm counting wrong. I am. So it's Call District 0, Call 9, Call 8, District 3, just the northern tip of Pennsylvania does, and then Call District 2. That's why there are 5, and you guys got it correct. Also, people who are getting that one, Dirk got it, Kale got A, Glenn Stevenson from Australia got 5. Good job, mate. And we're going to really honor Australia in this show. We tried to start that way. We'll end it that way. Mike, you're correct. By the way, first timer, welcome, Mike. It's nice to meet you. It really is. Thank you. Yeah. Ron Walensky, November 8, Whiskey Charlie Romeo. He's in the 8th district. He says, there's only one that really counts here anyway. That's great. Jeff, November 4, Pop Oscar. Let me see. 2, 4, 8, 9, and 0. I'll say D. Well done, Jeff. Yeah. Andy Cowley with B. Hardy had 5 as well. Rob with B. And Rodney also with D. You guys did really good. You did really good. And before we go to the second trivia question, we do have a question to the show today, which is my favorite part because we get to all take part in that, right? What is your something good today? What is it all about? We'll talk about Tell Me Something Good Wednesday. Let's take a look at your answers. Let's get your answer. Tell Me Something Good Wednesday real quick, and then we'll go to trivia question 2, and we'll start here with Dirk. Something good. I was able to salvage most of my antenna mast, all of my coax, my wire dipole, and some other antenna parts after the trees fell on it all. That's good news, Dirk. That's good. You're saving something out of something that broke, right? You know, that's where it goes. Aaron Lutz, that's a first-timer. Welcome to the show. It's nice to meet you, Aaron. Thank you for coming today. Says I've used an 80-meter dipole in my old apartment, LOL, 25 watts or less, and it worked pretty well. That's great. See, that's like Toby, right? Toby in Germany said Any antenna anywhere is better than no antenna nowhere. And he's right. Aaron, thank you very much. That's a good comment. Good comment. WCB 640. The indoor antenna is exactly why the FCC mandates all hams to now have proof that they have done an evaluation of RF exposure. 20 watts are okay in this situation. And keep that in mind. Do your EMF reading. It's really important. Steve asked on that setup, the way he had it set up with the metal eyelets. You normally would not use metal, but keep in mind those eyelets are screwed into wood. That's why they would work okay. Yeah, if they're screwed in, if it's metal, for example, if you were to use like a metal gutter or something, it may not be a good thing, but because then it changes everything. You not only have the wire, but now you get the gutter and the wire. So yeah, if you're doing something and it goes into an insulator like wood or glass, it's okay. Yeah, good question, Steve. Very good question. Also, Glenn said he could just hear that EA3 Juliet Echo station in New South Wales today. And like here, he was about a 0x1. Nice job, Glenn. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. And it's neat also you got to learn Waltzing Matilda in school. I guess good. Charlie, Red Summit RF, something good. Can't think of anything bad going on with me at the moment. That's good, isn't it? Of course it is.
Tell me something good.
That's good. That's very good. Well, whenever you can't think of anything that you're not, you don't have, then that's a good thing. Absolutely. All right. And we also got some other one. I thought it was my dear friend. Hold on. Let me move up. Here we go. Jason was the first one. I'll tell you something good. I made a contact with Kuwait on FT8 2 days ago.
Tell me something good.
Nice call, Jason. Wow. November 5, Victor Hotel Tango. Getting it done. Nice work, mate. That's good. I think that's really good. Guys, thanks God for the links. Thanks for everything. And Rodney confirms this. Now, this is from Holland. So folks in the States, this is something that's good because it's kind of their window and they're handing it to you saying, okay, this is the way it was up here. I think you're going to maybe have the same conditions. Rodney in Holland, Papa Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey, agree. Had some nice 15, 17, 20, and 40 contacts today. No 12, no 10. And that's really the way the northern part of the northern hemisphere, really the mid to northern part, have been lately. So, Rodney, thanks for the signal report. That's nice always to have that. I think we got everybody something good caught up. If you have something good to share with us today, let us know. Make it part of the show.
Tell me something good.
Trivia question number 2 today for you is this. Per FCC Part 97, and we're going to make this 10 points for outside North America or inside. It's such an obvious answer. So 10 for the first person to get right. Per FCC Part 97, what's the longest length that an amateur radio mobile antenna can be? Is it A, 18 feet? Is it B, Part 97 places no limitations on mobile antennas? Is it C, 10 feet? Or is it D, lower than power lines? Please let me know with A, B, C, or D. We'll let you know who gets it right. Good luck. Currently, we have a 60-45 game right now. 60-45. Again, Part 97. Think about Part 97. Does it have anything to do with mobile antennas? Does it? Let me know. Charlie, Red Summit RF, first one in, says 10 feet. C. That would not be it. Charlie, I'm sorry, mate. Jeff, November 4 Papa Oscar Delta, says Part 97 places no limitation on mobile antennas. He is correct. Well done. Good job, Jeff. Well, North America is kind of climbing back 60-55 now. Yeah, Part 97 is really about rules of things you can do or can't do, but has nothing to do with antenna length. So you're not going to find any antenna length or antenna plans in Part 97. That's an actual fact. Jeff got it right. Glenn in Australia had 8. Ron had it right. Dirk had it right. Steve had it right. Gordon, by the way, Mike 7, India November Tango. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you, mate. Andy Cowley, look at you guys. Not fooling anybody here. All of you are doing just good. Lee Rosselli, Whiskey 8, Romeo, November Bravo. Larry, I just discovered Edgewatch metering for the 7610. Very cool. That's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that. Because, you learn stuff about things. Maybe you don't know. Rob had B. He had it right as well. Glenn in Australia. E. Choose an answer from above.
No!
Jeff's got some cupcakes for people. Andy's guessing D, and North America did well today. That's great. Good job, guys. Trivia was good today. All right. Folks, we're gonna talk about a radio that you can get new, no more. It's used, but it's a great first radio. It really is. Kenwood is well known for their sound. They have been for years. Kenwood makes quality audio products for the home and for amateur radio. They always have made good products. In this video, it's a promotional video made by Kenwood. Just please understand, okay? It's not like someone using the radio. It's also at the advent of when digital signal processing became part of amateur radio. This came first in the Kenwood 870. Let's take a look at it. And by the way, the prices of this radio are right about $425 shipped, and it's a heavy radio. Here's another one, $675 shipped. So this is a radio that you can probably afford if you're new to amateur radio and want to get into a decent radio for HF. Here is the Kenwood TS-870S.
For almost 3 decades, there has been one leader in amateur radio, Kenwood. Technical innovation, advanced user features, quality of design and manufacturing, performance, value, all reasons commonly cited by radio amateurs around the world for choosing Kenwood transceivers again and again. The highest praise coming from the most demanding individuals in the marketplace. Now, once again, Kenwood has set new standards in the world of amateur radio with a brand new class of HF transceiver, the TS-870S. In many ways, HF defines the past, present, and future of amateur radio. And now Kenwood has brought you an entirely new way to enjoy it with the revolutionary TS-870S HF transceiver. What sets the TS-870S apart from other rigs is next-generation DSP, digital signal processing at the IF rather than the audio stage. This allows for the first time high-quality multi-stage variable digital filtering in all modes. Add to this DSP noise reduction, beat cancel for eliminating multiple beats, and auto notch filtering for slicing out interfering signals. All these features combine to give you the best receive audio you've ever heard on HF. This newest rig combines Kenwood's communications expertise with digital technology originally developed for the highly acclaimed TS-950 SDX. Next generation IF stage DSP makes many more features available than are possible with conventional audio process DSP. This is digital signal processing at its finest. The TS-870S features a highly efficient all-mode DSP filter.
Went out there to do some antenna work and get on the band for this in the middle of the day. I had last week off, and I'm going to have this week off too. It's nice.
Kenwood's digital filter technology offers variable bandwidth and skirt characteristics simply not possible with analog filters. Noise reduction capabilities also feature on the TS-870S, permitting clear communications regardless of band conditions. Noise reduction brings out signals that are buried in noise. This is especially important in DX work. Now with the TS-870S, even extremely weak signals are clear and distinct. The TS-870S features two kinds of noise reduction. The line enhancer method, which brings out a target signal by creating a filter curve appropriate for its frequency, and SPAC, or Speech Processing System, by use of autocorrelation function, which extracts even the weakest CW signals. The line enhancer method is particularly suited to SSB work when the target signal is just barely audible.
Conditions are so good this afternoon, respectively this evening for you, on 21 megabytes. That's nice, and it's a long time ago I have worked on this band. So I have on 20 meters, so there's an inverted V5.
The SPAC method is suited to CW. It is effective when trying to determine whether a sound is an actual signal or just noise. Kenwood's advanced DSP filtering and noise reduction features make communicating a breeze, even under less than ideal conditions. Both noise reduction methods are selected using the menu mode.
I don't want to go too far. I'm going to have the video. If you're interested in the 870, I'll have the whole video down below. Hit the link. You'll be able to see it all. It's a long video. It's about 15 minutes, and I don't like to run videos that long unless they're super educational, and I think you'll love that part. But it's a really good radio at a good price. I'll put it that way. The things I would ask, has there been any servicing on the radio? Do you know if any of the caps are in bad shape? Those are things that typically go wrong in radios of this age. But what you get for the money is pretty darn good to start with. I mean, it's a radio that's a lot of radio, 100 watts, plus you've got all the DSP product that Kenwood puts out. Plus, I'll tell you, Kenwood radios just sound beautiful. They really do. So think about the Kenwood TS-870. Here's prices again. $425 shipped. Here's $675 shipped. So, you know, between $450 and about $7 or $675. You know, so about $5.50. What you're going to probably pay for something like that shipped. Decent radio. And I love the comment. There was one that I think it was Daniel made. Yeah. I hope someday to be able to get a radio with that many bells and whistles. That's why I show these. It really is true. It's because, you know, instead of going out and thinking you'll never be able to afford one, it's good to get maybe a used one that's in good shape that someone's taken care of and be able to have that radio and then have all the fun with it. I mean, a lot of these radios are pretty good and taken really good care of. So Daniel, hang in there, man. There's going to be a radio for you that'll work really well. And WC, I agree 100%. That's 16-bit MIDI music. It was like an old video game. He's right. So funny. It's true. That was funny. And Ronnie, you're right. It starts with TS. It's a good radio. They are so well built. And really, they do quite well. They truly do. And by the way, I do want to really say a big welcome to Glenn Stevenson. He's been a dear friend for a long time for me on this channel. Glenn, I'm grateful you're here, especially a day that we celebrate Australia. Really. Yeah. You and Indy both. I hope we'd see Indy too, and we did. So hopefully Indy will catch up with us on replay the rest of the show, and that'd be pretty cool to be able to do. And that's Indy right here. And we're going to do this little bit because he did have something good. Indy's something good today. I can tell you something good. I woke up this morning and didn't see any grassroots above me.
Tell me something good.
Get to be our age, man. That's a good thing, man. And he says everything after that is a bonus. He's right. He's right. It's a good attitude, too. Jeff Porter, Portland, Oregon's here. He says something good. Double chocolate cupcakes right out of the oven.
Tell me something good.
That is awesome, man. And then everybody's talking about cupcakes. You guys are awesome. You really are. Yeah, you know what? This is what I needed to do today because yesterday was a tough day. And I appreciate y'all of your compassion. And I thought, you know, why wouldn't I want to hang out with my friends? You know what? Seriously, that's why I came today. It's not that it's an easy day. It's that it's good to hang out with all of you. So from my heart to you, thank you so much for being here today, okay? I mean that. I do. Yeah. Aaron Lutz, this is a good comment. This my first HF rig was a TS-440 SAT. It was my first and only rig until last year when I upgraded to an IC7300. I also picked up the 9700 to go with it. I still have the 440 though. That's the whole point. You can get some of these radios at prices that are, you know, like the price of maybe a 6100, Yeah, it's not new, but look at all you get. There's a lot there. And the reason I showed you the clip of being able to hear Spain this morning on the 7610 was because you notice it didn't show up on the waterfall. There are so many signals you won't see on a waterfall, guys. So many of them. And a quality radio is all you need with a set of good headphones and some patience, and you'll be able to work the world with it. You will. You really will. I want to thank Charlie for being a good man, getting us some photos, and also an interview from from Xenia, Ohio. Almost said Dayton. It's in Xenia, really. But yeah, from Hamvention. That'll be a lot of fun. Charlie, thanks for doing that. Jeff, okay, I have to run, take the XYL to dinner, or I won't hear the end of it. Drive up to Dayton, 7301 last time. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. DiBiase, I love that name. That's great. This is awesome. Kilo Charlie 1, Papa Sierra Kilo. Look at that. PSK as his suffix. That's awesome. Greetings from Connecticut. Got my general 2 weeks ago. Loving life. Congrats. That's awesome, man. Oh, that's great news. A new general. Oh, congratulations. That's so cool. Yeah, folks, we'll be on Discord. I'll try and show up for just a few minutes. It's a late show, and it's kind of tough for me to do it, but I'll do the best I can. Roger McKinn, does anyone know anything about the TS-870S? Well, we'll see if we can do a little segment on that one coming up. All right, guys? We'll see about that one. I think that's just about it. The topic question for today is a Tell Me Something Good Tuesday.
Tell me something good.
And it's a Wednesday, so we thought we'd do it because we didn't do a show yesterday. So tell me something good, and then we'll close the show. Neat close, sad close. It's a sad close, but it's a good close. It's when Radio Australia, who had been on literally consistently from 1939 until they went off in 2017. And we have that close down, the final close down at the transmitter site to show you soon. All right, we'll show you in a second. By the way, we had a pretty cool Discord channel. The show continues afterwards where we talk it up and have fun, talk radio, we talk all kinds of things, and you're the star. Come join us at ham-radio-live. Love to have you come. We want to celebrate some people who are part of this channel. First of all, we'll look at that Discord channel for a moment, and why don't we just do it this way, have some fun. This is Jim, Whiskey 6, Juliet, India Mike. Yep, he is going to help people learn Morse code. And Larry wants to learn too, so we'll see if we can maybe work with Jim to do that. Also, by the way, Kevin, Kilo Zero, Kilo Lima Bravo, he's got a new video up on his channel. He is now trying to use a boat, yes, a boat, as his ham radio antenna, so look for that. Also on the stream, Kevin O'Doublehand, my first QSOs with my new Bengali CW key. That's good stuff. Also on the channel, Indy sneak peek at Griffith, New South Wales Post Office Museum. Indy, thank you for sharing that. Ron Walensky, I have that running on my home RPI. This is making an ADS-B receiver that's putting your Raspberry Pi to work. Ron Walensky, November 8, Whiskey Charlie Romeo, thank you for that. Also, here's Anders all the way in Norway. This is part of that antenna I told you about with the shower drain. This is the part where he puts the radiators up on it. The outside of it is the part where he puts the counterpoise on it. Here's another look at it. This is from Norway. Here's looking straight at it if you're looking from the side. So, Anders, thanks for sharing that information with us. That's cool. Also, take a look. Yep, I know the cable to Earth is kind of thin, but I have 3 spikes that good. Don't look like I get that antenna this week, but looking forward to getting it and testing it out. This is what ham radio is about, trying and learning. Anders also did some good stuff later on the YouTube channel, the Discord channel as well. Also, Jeff, we got a new segment on Discord. This is Hamfest and Tailgates. Hamvention, there's your dates and your link, plus Huntsville Hamfest in August. There is that. And Hamcation for next year. Thank you, Jeff, for putting that up. That's good stuff. Also, Indy, road pictures of his semi-truck. Double. Look at that. Boy, Indy, you got a tough life. He's driving a double, and he's there in Australia, sharing a little bit of the road, life on the road with us. Indy, thank you. His call sign is Victor Kilo 2, X-Ray Bravo. Indy, thank you. Here's Siobhan, the girl that we had the last song show where she did the song, you know, Pilots. Here is her feet. Thank you, Siobhan, for your feet. Dirk, a couple of towns north of me yesterday evening. Yep, that's a snowplow and snow on the road. Kevin Deegan, the inside of his new computer. He's got it ready for 4K video editing. Thank you for sharing. Also, Rodney, Pump Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Thank you, Rodney. And Jim, Morse code QSO protocol. That's good to see. And finally, we got a couple of photos here we're going to share that, they're kind of special. And I want to just leave this without a little bit of life during wartime. This is from Dirk, Whiskey 9 Romeo Delta Yankee. It's an old picture of his dog Hennessy. She was a great best friend. He had to put her down recently because she just wasn't getting along too well. And Dirk, my heart goes out to you. And this was a picture of Molly yesterday before we had to put her down. And that's the reason. That's a tumor on her nose. It was causing her not to breathe very well. If you want to put something on Discord, if you want to join us here, you can do that. Ham-radio-live is where we're at. We'd love to talk with you about radio or whatever. And you know what's cool? If you're having a question or a problem with something, maybe something's not working right, people will help you without making you feel like a complete moron. And that's worth something, right? Join us at ham-radio-live after the show. We'd love to have you join us for that, okay? Good. Yep, we would. And we're going to close the Radio Australia bit, so I hope you like that. Tell me something good Wednesday. Final call for that.
Tell me something good.
That'll be good. And hopefully we'll get this thing done here. All right, Daryl, late again as always. No, you're not. No, we're glad you're here. And DiBiase, congrats. That gentleman just got his general license. That's a big deal to me. That's a big deal to me. Good work. Rodney, well, I just got informed I'm getting my yearly bonus just in time for my new amp. Perfect timing. Aaron Lutz, something good. Ready? Started working on the new tower today, getting the ground prep for the concrete pad. It's going to be 60 feet of tower with a 15-foot mast and rotator.
Tell me something good.
That's awesome, dude. Gosh, I wish I could do that. Gordon from the UK, my shack /office /workshop is up and running now, Larry.
Tell me something good.
That's great. Good job, man. I'm glad to hear that. Gordon, that's awesome news. Dirk, Whiskey 9 Romeo Delta Yankee with the link to join us on Discord afterwards. We appreciate you doing that. Thank you. WECB 640. I used to repair the 830 and 530 rigs. See you in the Discord channel. I can help you there. That's some good stuff. That's what this is about. Trying to help you. Yep, trying to help you guys. Daryl, TG for reruns. Good news is I have 6 working days left, then retirement. Here I come.
Tell me something good.
That's a good something good. Francis Jonas, first-timer welcome. This is wonderful. Hype Radio Australia. I'm Francis from Islamabad, Pakistan. Francis, it's my honor to meet you. Welcome to Ham Radio Live. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. I mean that. That's really a big deal to me. Whiskey 6, Julie, India Mike. Something good. I'm going to teach Larry Morse code.
My name is Larry.
Tell me something good.
That's good, Jim. We'll do it. That'd be fun. I'd love to learn. I do. I want to do that. That would be good. And Dirk, you're right, is making us jealous for sure. The Discord link, DiBiase, is simply after the show. We sit and talk. We hang out. We enjoy each other's company. Dirk has put that down there for you. It's right here. Simply join us. Click on that link, and you'll be part of the after-show party. All right, guys. We're going to close the show out today on a Wednesday. I want to thank you for being here. We'd love to help you get your amateur radio license. That's the main passion of what we do this for. Contact a big club like the Radio Society of Great Britain. They are really good at what they do, and no matter where you are in the world, if you tell them you want to get your license and where you live, they'll then send you an amateur radio club that's close to you. I think that's the most important part about being successful in amateur radio. Joining a local club, they'll help you. They'll help you not only with getting your license passed, but they can help you maybe get on the air too with equipment that they maybe can help you with, okay? Find them at www.rsgb.org, and they'll help you out. Sorry the voice is scratchy. It was a rough day yesterday. Now for the final time, this is Radio Australia, a very special place on the shortwave dial that I grew up with and I love very much. They started in 1939. In 2017, the government wasn't going to pay them any more money to be able to keep them on the air. So they were going off the air for good. It was a real tough time for them. And it was a time that meant a big change was coming to shortwave. There would be silence from a very important part of the world. This is where I got my love for the country of Australia, because I grew up listening to the news, the music, and the stories of that great country. And it's why I admire Australians today. Here is the final sign-off from Radio Australia. Wherever you are in this world, God bless you. Thank you for being a part of Ham Radio Live today. Till we meet again, goodbye, everybody.
This is Radio Australia, transmitting from the Melbourne studios of the Australian Broadcasting Commission. Good evening, everyone. This is Radio Australia, the overseas service of the Australian Broadcasting Commission. We're transmitting the North America and Central Pacific service on 17.84 megacycles per second, 16.82 meters, 15.32 megacycles, 19.58 meters, and 21.74 megacycles, 13.80 meters. The time in Eastern Australia is 11:01 hours on the morning of Friday, the 11th of July, 1969. And this is Vic Kennedy, pleased to be with you once more at best for the next hour.
The South Australian Senator Nick Xenophon says the ABC has underestimated the impact shutting down its shortwave service will have. The broadcaster will today switch off its shortwave transmission in remote parts of northern Australia and across the Pacific. Senator Xenophon says he plans to introduce legislation next week to force the ABC to reinstate the service. He says the loss of the service will be felt far and wide.
The fact is this will affect thousands of Australians who are in remote areas, but it seems it will affect many tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of people that are regular Radio Australia listeners throughout the region.
The Northern Territory Cattlemen's Association Chief Executive Officer Tracy Hayes says many Territorians feel abandoned by the decision to switch off the shortwave service.
This sends a fairly strong signal to people that live in the bush that they are no longer the national broadcaster and that they simply have lost interest for those of us that live and work in rural areas, and it's very difficult to draw any other conclusion.
And this was the final transmitter to be turned off at Radio Australia.
Nou, dit is dus de huiskamer. En dan komen we hier bij de slaapkamer.
Oh ja.
Met